Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Hannah and I'm going to be a junior at the University of Alabama. So today I'm making a video on the topic I get the most questions about. I mean, I'm always being asked about this on my channel and I feel like I'm always answering questions and like repeating myself in my videos. So I thought, why not make a full video about Sorority Rush for you guys? So I've actually made a video about Sorority Rush before. I'll link it up here for you guys to go watch. I don't know which side it's going to be on. I think maybe this side, maybe this one. I don't know. But I am always being asked questions about Sorority Rush. So I thought I'll make another video for you guys. Just clarifying everything, giving you guys tips and tricks, talking about the do's and don'ts, just going over things that I think you guys would be curious about. So I wrote down a bunch of notes in my phone and tried to pick topics that I think you guys would be curious about and, you know, topics that I think are asked about the most. So yeah, let's just get on into it. Okay. First things first, let's start with resumes. So when you are a PNM and you're looking to join a sorority, I know for Alabama we take resumes, headshots, and letters of recommendation. So for now we're just going to go over the resumes. So basically the whole point of the resume is to make yourself stand out. So what I put on my resume is I was cheer captain, I was in the French Honor Society, I was a volunteer cheer coach, I worked a hostessing job, I babysat. So basically any jobs you worked, any volunteer work you did, any sports, clubs, anything like that that you might have been involved with in high school or things you might have done at home. If you worked in a soup kitchen, or if you volunteered at an animal shelter. Sororities are really looking for somebody who's well-rounded. And you know, at least at Alabama, the sororities really try to give back to our community. So volunteer work, you know, looking like you're interested in things, anything you have a passion for should come through on your resume so that we know what kind of person you are. And overall, it's just going to help you stand out in the rush process. And it's going to be easier for you to have conversations during rush. So like, when I went through rush, I thought about what I put on my resume because what I put on my resume was important to me, and you know, all those things that I did, all the clubs I was in, any volunteer work I did, that was all important to me. So anything that you did that was important to you, anything you're passionate about, I put YouTube on my resume. I said, hey, I love making videos. I have a YouTube. I took film classes in high school. I put a bunch of stuff on my resume about really being passionate about videos and communications. It kind of served as a guideline for me. I was able to look at my resume and be like, okay, these are all the things you're passionate about. Make sure you bring that up when you go into one of the houses. Because when you go into a house to have a conversation, you definitely want to bring up the things you're passionate about and the things that you love, because it will help us get a much better feel for you and who you are as a person. As for headshots, if you have any like professional photos of you, that's great. If you have like professional headshots, that's great. Go for it, submit those. I used my senior picture. I know a lot of girls use their senior pictures. I didn't have a headshot of me. If you don't have a senior picture, go have your friends take pictures of you. Go out, put on some makeup, maybe a cute outfit, and go have your friends take a good picture of you and then send that in. The headshot's not so important. You just want to make sure that you seem put together and, you know, it's not like just a lazy selfie or anything like that. You kind of want it to look a little bit more professional, because usually girls hand in resumes and headshots that are like, I guess, more fancy. I sent in like a personalized resume and like thank you note that had like my initials on it, and it was like a cute pattern. I'm a person who loves aesthetics, and I really wanted to like have a cute little aesthetic thing that I could send in and make it all pretty, because I'm just personally like that. You guys don't have to do that, but if you want to, I'll link the person that I used down below. She was phenomenal and she was so helpful, and she had so many patterns to choose from. So if you guys want a fancy resume like mine, I'll link her down below. But yeah, I don't know, I just felt like everything should look professional and very nice, and I kind of just wanted to put my best foot forward with the headshot and the resume because it's really a first impression of who you are. So the next thing that I want to talk about is letters of recommendation. A lot of girls panic about letters of recommendation. Please don't panic. I might have gotten all of the letters of recommendation. I feel like I was maybe missing one or two, but it doesn't matter. If you can't get a letter of recommendation for every house, it's not going to change your outcome with the house. If we like you, we like you, and a letter of recommendation is not going to change that. So, one second. Hello, I'm filming a video.
Okay, I love you.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
love you.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, I literally have no idea where I was. Oh, if you can't get a letter of recommendation, it's not going to change a house's opinion on you. It's not the end-all be-all if you can't get a letter of rec, but if you want letters of rec. So for me personally, it was actually really hard for me to find my letters of recommendation because I'm from New York and sorority rush is not really a big thing up here. I did not know anybody in a sorority at the time, and I literally had no idea where to find a letter of recommendation from anybody. So here's what I can recommend to you if you really want to find a letter of recommendation and can't. I would recommend asking around. So asking people if they know anybody in a sorority, maybe their older sister or their cousin or one of their aunts or grandmas or something is in a sorority. So ask family members if they can ask people at work, or ask friends, ask your friends if they can ask other people in their lives. And you know, just ask around and see if anybody you know knows somebody in a sorority who can write you a letter. And obviously email that person, tell them stuff about yourself, you know. If nobody you know knows somebody in a sorority, I know something that helped me a lot was I posted on Facebook and I just said, hey, if anybody knows anybody in a sorority that can write me a letter of recommendation, it would be really, really, really appreciated. And you can even post this in like the Alabama Facebook page. A lot of people will be willing to help. Put it out there online, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, whatever you want. Any way that you think you could reach people to get a letter of recommendation, try it. And if asking around and Facebook does not work for you, there's one other way that you guys could get letters of rec, and that other way is reach out to the sorority and ask them if anybody there can put you in touch with somebody who can get them a letter of recommendation. So I know that I personally reached out to a few Alabama sororities and I said, hey, I really, really would like to get letters of rec. Could you guys help me find someone who could write me a letter? And they did. They found somebody who could write me a letter, and I got most of the letters that I needed. Like I said, letters of recommendation are not the most important thing. It's not going to make or break your sorority rush experience. They're just recommended. I think honestly they're even now like less important than they used to be. But if you guys want them, those are just a few ways that you can find them or get them. So the next thing that I want to go over is what to wear. So every round has like a different style, I guess. So for philanthropy, for example, you can wear sandals, a nice pair of shorts, and they give you a t-shirt. So philanthropy is a more relaxed round, but for pref, you want to wear heels and a nice dress. So every round is different, and they will give you a Greek chic, which is kind of like a guide to every day of rush. So right now I'll put on the screen a few examples of what I wore to rush. So here was like an open house round outfit, and I think here's day 1, and then here was day 2. So you know, every girl's style is different. This was my style at the time. And then like here was my philanthropy outfit. So right now I'll try to put up a few pictures of some outfits that I wore for sorority rush, but you know, everybody is different. So I know a big thing for me, like when I was gonna go through rush, is like every girl at Alabama was wearing bright colors and patterns and like Lily Pulitzer, and I just was not that girl. I have never really been like the bright color girl. I say this as I'm wearing a bright pink sorority sweatshirt. I promise this is like one of the only bright colored things that I own that's not like a blue or something. But I wasn't really like a neon color person. I'm still not a neon color person. So I found outfits that more suited me. As for what to wear, please don't try to look like every other girl. So if you see somebody on YouTube wearing one thing, or if you see somebody on Instagram, or your sister wore this outfit to Rush and she got into her top house or whatever, you should always stay true to you in your style, so don't worry about what anyone else is wearing, but you should be wearing something appropriate. So the way I kind of gauged it is if I wouldn't wear it in front of my family, or if I wouldn't wear it to a professional event, I'm not going to wear it to Rush. Because just keep in mind, you really, really, really want to put your best foot forward. So, you know, if you're wearing a dress, make sure it's not too short or too revealing. You know, your shorts for philanthropy should not be too tight or too revealing. That goes for dresses too. So honestly, I think my rule kind of works really well for this. If you wouldn't wear it in front of your family or to a professional event, do not wear it. Another thing that goes along with wardrobe is Alabama is really hot in August. So if you're rushing somewhere like Alabama, I don't really know how it works at other schools that well, but if you're rushing somewhere at the beginning of the year like Alabama does, please, please, please don't like wear something with long sleeves. Dress for the weather, because you'll be sitting outside all day and it is going to be hot. You will be comfortable in, and you know, something that will keep you cool but is still cute and respectful. So yeah, so like I know I wore some cute flowy sundresses some days with sandals. I think I showed the picture before, but I'll show it again. So you know, just like summer attire, I guess, but not something that you would wear to like a backyard party with your friends. Like definitely something you would wear to like a more formal event. Listen, bottom line, the Alabama heat is just unbeatable. You're not gonna be able to escape it. It's going to be hot until they open those front doors to those houses. It is going to be really humid and really hot, and I'm from New York. I was not ready for that. I had no idea what to expect. I knew from the videos I watched on YouTube, and I knew from other people who were telling me it was going to be hot that it was going to be hot. But I did not expect what I got. One day that iRush broke the record for the hottest day in Alabama history for like 7 years or something like that. And let me tell you, it was brutal. But there are things you can do to help. So one of those things is dressing comfortable. Dressing nice, but dressing comfortable. So a lot of my dresses were flowy or flowier. Like I didn't wear really tight things because I knew that I would be sweating. And I wore lots of open-toed shoes, sandals, things that were more comfortable on my feet, because you're going to be on your feet in those heels for a while and your feet are going to hurt. So pick a heel or a sandal that you think will be comfortable for you to wear. Another big topic we can go over, and another thing that will really help with the weather if it's hot where you're rushing, is your rush bag and what to bring in it. So for my rush bag, I just had a little red Longchamp backpack. I had a little keychain on it to be able to tell which one was mine, because a lot of girls use Longchamp. But you know, make sure you pick a bag that's like durable and will hold your stuff, but it's not like too heavy to carry around, I guess. And something you'd be comfortable leaving on the floor in the grass, because usually you leave it on the grass in front of the houses. But yeah, and also make sure you'll be able to tell which bag is yours. So just bring a cute little bag, but make sure that bag has room to put a decent amount of stuff in. So in my rush bag, I had my hydro flask because it held a lot of water and it kept the water cool all day, which water is a staple. So many girls pass out or get sick and dehydrated because they're not drinking water. Alabama is 100 degrees. If you're rushing at a school like Alabama, you're going to be hot and you are going to get dehydrated. Like, you're gonna be sweating all day long. You need water. So I just brought my big hydro flask in my water bottle. In my water bottle, what? In my backpack, and that was a lifesaver. It kept it cool all day long. You know, make sure you fill it with ice and put plenty of water, because you're gonna need it, girl. You're gonna need it. The next thing I put in my bag was like a mini little fan. So when you're sitting on the grass in between parties, or if you have a break, you sit and you wait outside the whole time. So bringing this little fan was super helpful, because I woke up every morning and if I was just sitting there, I would just fan myself. And for the most part, it kept me pretty cool. So, you know, having a mini fan is helpful. So what I had in my little makeup bag was oil blotting sheets for when you were like sweaty and oily. These were actually really helpful because your makeup kind of starts to melt off if you get like really sweaty and hot. So the oil blotting sheets kind of just help prevent that from happening. But you know, sometimes things happen, makeup rubs off, so I just put some concealer and powder, so if any blemishes were coming out, you know, I could cover them up before I went into a house and just like be on my way. Chapstick and lip gloss. So I just feel like personally lip gloss and chapstick like completed the look. So I just like put it on before I went into a house just because it made me feel more like put together. Lash glue. So my lashes, I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know if it was because I was like sweating profusely. I literally couldn't tell you, but my lashes were like coming off. So I brought extra lash glue with me in case they did fall off, because they would like come up at the ends and I would have to reapply the lash glue to them. Maybe that's just because I wasn't good at applying lashes. I don't know. I definitely think if you're going to wear fake lashes, which you by all means do not have to do, if you don't know how to do them, I would just say wear regular mascara. It's probably better in the long run. But if you decide to wear fake lashes, I would definitely keep some extra glue with you in your bag. The other thing I carried with me was just mascara, because if my mascara was getting like melty, I would reapply it. Some makeup wipes in case, you know, things are getting a little runny and you need to clean it up. I would bring some makeup wipes with you, maybe some Q-tips. And then the last thing I had in my little bag was a little rollerball perfume, because I don't know, it's so hot and you're like sweating. I was just scared that I wasn't gonna smell good, so I had like a little perfume that I could just carry around with me. So something else you should carry in your rush bag is comfortable shoes. So at the end of the day, when you want to change out of those heels, or if you're on a lunch break and you don't want to be in these heels anymore, your feet are killing you, bring a comfortable pair of flip-flops or like sandals and just vibe. Switch your shoes. Nobody's gonna care if you switch your shoes. Just make sure you put them back on when you start going into houses again and it should be fine. I mean, I definitely at the end of the day changed my shoes all the time because my feet were killing me by the end of that week. I felt like I couldn't walk. I also had snacks in my bag. So I brought granola bars, or like little snacks, like I brought like little bags of nuts, little granola bars, you know, stuff like that. Just like if you have like little bags of chips or something, put those in your bag. It's a long day, you're gonna get hungry. Do not starve yourself because you think you'll like look better or whatever. You won't. You're gonna be like passed out on the ground or sick by the end of the day, and honestly, sick is not a good look. It's not cute. So make sure you eat something. Make sure you're nourishing yourself because it's a long day and you should be taking care of yourself, and you need more than just lunch. I also brought deodorant in my bag. I wouldn't recommend bringing the sticks of deodorant. I would recommend bringing the spray because the sticks of deodorant will melt. So I brought the spray. Or like maybe bring like the gel deodorant, because the regular sticks of deodorant are going to melt. Also, I think I might have brought sunscreen with me, but I'm not positive on that. If you're really pale and you think you're gonna burn, definitely bring sunscreen. And I think that's pretty much it for what I brought in my bag. It sounds like a lot, but I promise you it's not. It all fit in like a little tiny bag for me. Okay, so here's some just general advice about what to expect for a rush. So I guess we'll start with the don'ts. So do not base a house off of what it looks like. Base a house off of what you feel like when you go inside. Try to stay true to yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. Do not, I said this in the last video too, but do not look up the rankings of each house or whatever. Go into Rush blindly. Go into Rush knowing nothing if you can, because you'll have a better experience that way. But there's a lot of girls who end up devastated because they think that one house is better than the other, when that's really not even true. So please don't look at any of the rankings, because none of that matters, and to be honest, after freshman year you don't really care about that. I think ranking is stupid, and I don't think that it matters. So don't go around thinking like, oh, well, it's not the best house, so it's not gonna be good. That's not how it works. Nobody actually cares. Nobody cares about status. So if you're going for status, big mistake. You should really be going for where you think you're gonna be happy, because nobody cares about status, really. I have plenty of friends who are in other houses and plenty of friends who aren't in a house at all. And I don't think that it really makes the difference which house you're in. I think it's going to, in the long run, make the difference if you're happy or not. Anyway, when you go into a house and you're having a conversation, there's a lot of things you should not talk about. About drinking or boys or drama, because it's just not appropriate. And I think that if you're rushing, you're what, like 18 or 19? So like, I think you know that it's not appropriate. You should know that it's not appropriate. So like, don't bring that stuff up, because it's just not a good look. And you know, you can talk about that with your friends, and go for it. Like, talk about whatever you want on your free time, but when you're rushing, I would talk to people like you're applying for a job, almost. So like, basically what you should talk about is things about yourself. Your passions, what you did in high school, what you plan to do in college. Ask the girls rushing you questions about their sorority. Ask them about things that are important to you. See if you guys have like the same sort of values. Don't bring up things that like don't really matter, I guess, because then you'd kind of just be wasting your time in a house. I know one thing I loved about DZ is their philanthropy of speech and hearing. That to me was something that really mattered to me. And the philanthropy round is actually what made DZ my favorite house, because I had a really meaningful conversation about the philanthropy and about what they do. So when you're in a house, try to really find out, you know, what the house's values are. Ask them questions about their philanthropy. Ask them questions about their experience being in the sorority. Because, listen, I'm not participating in Rush this year, but I did participate last year as an active, and I can tell you I loved telling my stories. I absolutely loved telling random stories to people. I like really wanted to, because the stories I heard during recruitment about other girls' experiences really helped me decide which house I wanted to be in. So if you guys hear, so like let's say for example during sisterhood, if they're asking you questions about like stuff you like to do with your friends or what you would want in a sisterhood, tell them what you'd want in a sisterhood, and then, you know, ask them questions. Be like, do you guys take trips together? Are you comfortable with your sisters? Can you tell your sisters anything? Stuff like that. Trust me, you'd be surprised. Some of the answers are gonna make or break a house for you. So really make sure you're asking questions. Make sure you are having conversations about stuff that you care about. And if a house is meant for you, you'll feel it. The girls inside of the house will be just as passionate about the conversation you're having as you are. And yeah, you're gonna feel like you're kind of, it's like a weird sensation, but you're gonna kind of feel like you're friends with them already. You're gonna feel like you guys have stuff in common. And for me, a lot of the questions I asked made the difference when I was rushing. So I would definitely ask important questions. You need to trust the process. You really do need to be yourself and put your best foot forward. And just, like, I just said this, but like, just be yourself. Like, it's really so important. There's just so many girls who try to be something that they're not and fit themselves into like a situation where they have nothing in common with the other girls. And I just truly believe that if you try to be something that you're not going to connect with the people you're supposed to, and then it's not going to be as great of an experience for you as it should have been. But you're going to be stressed. Just remember to trust the process, and remember that this isn't the most important decision you're ever going to make. It's not life or death. If something doesn't go your way, just roll with it. And I'm going to be honest, realistically, you're not going to get every house back that you want back. And that's just like the truth. I didn't. I know there's a lot of girls that like try to tell you that they did, or that they got every house back the first round and like whatever. And like only the ones that I knocked off were like taken off. That's just, it's not true. Don't listen to them, because that's just not true for most people. So if you don't get a house back that you liked, there's a reason for it. And, you know, try to just keep rolling with the punches, and then you'll end up where you have to be. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just have realistic expectations. Go in with an open mind. Try not to stress so much about having conversations with girls in the houses, because to be honest, we're probably just as scared as you are, and we're normal. We're normal people, and there's really nothing to be worried about. So, you know, come in, be confident, and just remember that we're here to talk to you. We're here to learn stuff about you, and we want you to be our friend. Hey, Hannah, editing this. You just got done making this video, but you forgot to mention something before. So I have actually made 2 videos on Rush. One was my Rush Week experience. It's literally one of my first videos. It's so old and so cringy. I will also link it up here in the bar right now. So if you guys want to see that, go click on it. Also, the other Rush advice video is right here. Please feel free to follow me on all of my social media linked down below, and like and subscribe for more sorority content. I'm so glad I got to make this video today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!